There's a tradition that started years ago between two players who refuse to let their WNBA paths pull them apart. Every time Caitlin Clark and Kate Martin's teams play each other, they find a moment to reconnect. And what started as just adorable hugs between former Iowa Hawkeyes teammates has become something way bigger than basketball. It's become a symbol of what real friendship looks like in professional sports. A symbol of loyalty that transcends teams, transcends trades, transcends the business side of the game. And on Wednesday night, after the Indiana Fever beat the Los Angeles Sparks 87-78, that tradition happened again. And what we saw was so much more than just a hug. Clark and Martin's bond goes back to their college days at Iowa. They won together. They lost together. They built something that mattered in a basketball context, but more importantly, they built a friendship that clearly means everything to both of them. When Martin got drafted and went to Las Vegas to play for the Aces, the tradition started. Every time Indiana played Vegas, they'd find each other. The hugs would happen. The smiles would appear, and then they'd go back to being opponents on the court. But off the court, they never stopped being best friends. Then Kate Martin's journey took another turn. She left the Aces and moved on to the Golden State Valkyries, and the tradition continued. Whenever Clark and the Fever faced off against the Valkyries, there would be that moment. That beautiful moment where two best friends found each other in a sea of competition and reminded each other that friendship matters more than winning. That loyalty matters more than the scoreboard. That some bonds are stronger than any team affiliation can break. But here's what makes this story even more beautiful. Martin's journey in the WNBA hasn't been easy. After leaving Vegas, she found herself on the Golden State Valkyries roster, but her path in the league has been uncertain. She's been trying to find her place, trying to prove herself, trying to earn consistent minutes and establish herself as a professional player. And when she got traded to the Los Angeles Sparks, it was another chapter in a story that's still being written. It was another team, another chance, another opportunity to find her footing in this league. So when the Fever came to town to play the Sparks on Wednesday night, Kate Martin was there watching from the bench. She's on a developmental contract with Los Angeles, which means her path is still uncertain. She's not getting minutes yet. She's not getting to showcase what she can do on the court. But what she did get was this. She got to see her best friend dominate. She got to watch Caitlin Clark put up 24 points, dish out 9 assists, grab 4 rebounds, and add 2 steals and a block. She got to watch the player she won with at Iowa do everything at the highest level of women's basketball. And then, after the final whistle, they found each other in the chaos of a post-game celebration, in the middle of a professional arena with thousands of people watching. In a moment where they were on opposite sides of the scoreboard and could have just kept walking, they stopped, they turned, and they embraced. And it wasn't just a quick hug. It was several seconds of just holding each other, just being present with each other, just reminding each other that no matter what happens in this league, they've got each other. What made this moment so powerful was what happened next. They weren't just hugging, they were talking, whispering into each other's ears, sharing words that only they could hear, sharing a conversation that belonged to them and nobody else. And when they finally let go, they both had big smiles on their faces. Not the smiles of competitors who just beat each other, but the smiles of best friends who just reminded each other that they matter, that their friendship matters, that some things are more important than basketball. In a league where players are constantly being traded, where friendships are tested by competitive schedules, where it's easy to get caught up in winning and losing and individual stats, Clark and Martin have chosen to prioritize something different. They've chosen to say, we're going to be friends no matter what. We're going to find each other. We're going to hug. We're going to remind each other that we're not just competitors. We're sisters. That's why this tradition matters. That's why it keeps happening. That's why every time their teams play, fans and media are looking for that moment. Because in a sports landscape that's often dominated by drama and controversy and conflict, this is purity. This is what real friendship looks like. This is two players who could very easily let the competitiveness of their jobs push them apart, but instead, they've made it a point to come together. The beauty of their situation is that they're going to get more chances to do this. The Fever and Sparks play again on Saturday, June 27th, when Indiana hosts Los Angeles at home. And then they'll play again on Wednesday, July 8th, back at Crypto.com Arena in Los Angeles. So this moment on Wednesday night isn't the end of their reunion story for this season. It's just one chapter. There are more moments coming. More hugs, more whispered conversations, more reminders that friendship transcends basketball. But here's what's really profound about this. Kate Martin is still trying to find her way in the WNBA. She's on a developmental contract. She's watching from the bench. She's not getting the minutes she wants. And in that moment of uncertainty, having a best friend who's dominating at the highest level and then taking time to embrace her, that's not just nice. That's everything. That's the kind of support system that keeps you going when you're struggling. That reminds you that your worth isn't just about playing time or stats or all the things that matter in professional basketball. Caitlin Clark is a superstar. She's breaking records. She's carrying the Indiana fever. She's one of the most dominant players in the WNBA right now. And she still made time. She still found her best friend. She still stopped in the middle of her post-game routine to embrace someone who matters to her. That's the mark of a great person. That's the mark of someone who understands that success in basketball is hollow if you don't have people in your life who matter to you. Their Iowa connection runs deep. They were teammates in college. They won together. They lost together. They went through the experience of being part of something special at the University of Iowa. That bond doesn't disappear just because they're now playing for different professional teams. If anything, it deepens. Because now they're in a league where friendship can actually be harder to maintain, where teams are constantly changing rosters, where you're competing against people you used to be teammates with, where your best friend might be wearing a different jersey on game day. And yet, they've made it work. They've made it beautiful. They've turned what could be a difficult situation into something that's become iconic. Fans know about it now. Media covers it. People talk about it. And it's all because two players decided that their friendship was worth prioritizing, that it was worth making time for, that it was worth publicly celebrating over and over again, no matter how many times their teams play. The post-game hug after Wednesday's game felt different, though. It felt heavier. It felt more significant. Because Kate Martin is in a precarious position in her career. She's on a developmental contract. She's not getting playing time. She's watching from the sidelines. And her best friend, who she's known since their college days, just put on a masterclass. Just showed out. Just proved why she's one of the best basketball players in the world. And Kate got to be there for that. Got to witness it. Got to then embrace the person who made it happen. That's the power of genuine friendship in professional sports. That's the power of showing up for people you care about, even when the world is telling you to focus on yourself, even when competition could divide you, even when every other aspect of your professional life is telling you to keep your distance from the other side. Clark and Martin said no to all of that. They said, we're going to be friends. We're going to hug. We're going to be there for each other. And that's a lesson that goes far beyond basketball. In a world that often emphasizes winning at all costs. In a world where people are constantly climbing over each other to get ahead. In a world where loyalty is treated as weakness. Caitlin Clark and Kate Martin are saying something different. They're saying that loyalty matters. That friendship matters. That being there for the people you love, no matter what, is worth more than any win or any stat line or any professional achievement. The fact that their reunion tradition has continued through Martin's journey from the Aces to the Valkyries to the Sparks shows that this isn't just a once-in-a-while thing. This is a commitment. This is something they both actively prioritize. This is something they've made a choice to keep alive. And every time they embrace, they're making that choice again. Every time they find each other on the court, they're saying, we matter to each other more than basketball. So when Caitlin Clark and Kate Martin hugged after the Fever beat the Sparks on Wednesday night, it wasn't just a sweet moment between friends. It was a statement. It was a reminder. It was a powerful example of what real friendship looks like in the modern sports landscape. It was a moment that said, no matter what happens, no matter where you play, no matter what team is paying your salary, some things are sacred. Some bonds don't break. Some friendships transcend basketball. And in a league that's growing, in a league that's capturing more attention, in a league that's becoming more competitive and more intense every single year, those moments matter. Those reminders matter because they show that basketball is about more than just the game. It's about the people you play it with. It's about the friendships you build. It's about the bonds that matter more than winning and losing. That's why the Caitlin Clark and Kate Martin reunion tradition is so important. That's why it needs to keep happening. That's why every time they embrace, they're telling a story that the WNBA needs to hear.